Nothing related with this one. Nothing. Here also nothing is there. Whatever the topics we have discussed, we have already discussed. What are the features of risk? If you study differences between risk and CISC, your features will also come in that one only. Features of risk are features of CISC. Okay. Here also comparison between risk and CISC. So on the almost total 7 papers, if I am referring 7 papers over here, in this around 4 papers I have asked the differences between risk and CISC. So very important question for your final exam. Refer this risk and CISC. Okay. So this is nothing but your central processing unit. Okay. That is part 1 of your third unit we have discussed. Okay. Whereas part 2, which is nothing but your related with your pipelining, I'll be going to discuss in my next video. Okay, I'll be discussing this pipelining in the next video. Okay, let us have a general overview of whatever we have discussed here. Okay, in the central processing unit we have came across that what is the CPU organization. Okay, general register organization. This is the block diagram of a general register organization, how the instruction will be done. That control word is available over here. This is your control word is available over here. Selection A, selection B and operand of 5 bits we have discussed. Okay. We have discussed what is stack organization. Register in the stack organization we do have two different types of stack organization. One is register stack memory and this next one is nothing but your memory stack. We are going to have register stack and memory stack. In register stack, how the push and pop instruction will be done. In memory stack, how it will be done. In this memory stack, your stack pointer will be decremented for push instruction, whereas in the register organization your stack pointer will be incremented for your push instruction. Okay, for pop instruction your memory stack will be incremented. Here in the register stack it will be decrementing the stack pointer. Okay, so the stack limits are nothing but your upper and lower limit of your two registers will be there. Okay, that is nothing but your stack limits. Okay, RPN is nothing but a reverse Polish notation, or like it will be going to use a postfix notations. And how you are going to analyze a particular thing by using an example is nothing but you take some example. First we will be going to move these values A and B value, then we will be using the multiplication to multiply. Next I will be using C and D value to push the values into the stack memory, then I will be using the multiplication, then I will be going with the addition. So this is nothing but your RPN, which is nothing but your reverse Polish notation. Coming to our instruction formats, generally 3 formats are there: opcode, address fields, mode field. Opcode is nothing but your operation code, address field specifies the address, mode field specifies the addressing mode of an instruction. Okay. There are 3 different types of CPU organizations are available over here: single accumulator organization, general register organization and the stack organization. In single accumulator organization you are going to have a single operator will be there in your single accumulator organization, whereas in general register organization you will be going to have many registers will be going to there in an instruction, whereas stack organization is nothing but you will be using only 2 instruction which are nothing but your push and pop instruction in this organization. Okay, so 3 types of CPU organizations are available. Now based on this one organization, so we do have the different types of instructions, and there are 4 different varieties of instructions we are going to have. Those are nothing but your 3 address instructions, 2 address instruction, 1 address instruction, and 0 address instruction. Whereas RISC is nothing but it is going to use all the types of instructions. Okay, in your RISC instruction or RISC computers, you'll be going to have all the instruction formats from 3 address, 2 address, 1 address, and 0 address formats. So all the instructions will be there in the RISC instructions. What do you mean by 3 address instructions? If I am specified 3 operands, then it is a 3 address instruction. If I am specified 2 operands, then it is a 2 address instruction. If I am going to specify 1 operand, 1 register, then it is a 1 address instruction. If I don't specify any operand over here, it is act as a 0 address instructions. Okay, these are nothing but your 4 different ways of instruction formats. Coming to our addressing modes, addressing mode is nothing but you are going to have addressing mode will be going to specify that what is the path you are going to follow to get the data. Okay, that is nothing but your addressing mode. Okay, instruction cycles, if I am going to talk, basically in instruction, to execute any instruction, we go with the 3 different stages or 3 different cycles. One is fetch cycle, second is decode cycle, third is nothing but your execute. Fetch instruction is nothing but your fetch cycle is nothing but your, it will, when an instruction as soon as you give an instruction, your CPU will be going to fetch that instruction from the memory. Okay, reading the instruction from the memory is known as a fetch instruction. Okay, decode in the instruction is nothing but if I want to decode if I want to execute it, then first I need to decode that instruction into the machine language. So for that one we will be going to have decode instruction. Execute instruction is nothing but to execute the instruction we will be going to use this execute cycle. This is basically instruction format, opcode, mode, address field. What are the different addressing modes we are having? Implied addressing mode, okay, immediate addressing mode, register addressing mode, register indirect addressing mode, auto increment and decrement addressing mode, immediate addressing mode, register mode, and register indirect addressing mode, auto increment, direct addressing mode, indirect addressing mode, relative addressing mode, index addressing mode, base register index addressing mode. This has been explained by using a small example over here. The same explanation I have already given in the class. You refer your class notes. Okay. When I go with my data transfer and manipulation instruction, basically you are going to have 3 different. You are going to classify the computer instruction into 3 different categories. One is nothing but your data transfer. Second is nothing but your data manipulation. And the third one is nothing but your program control instructions. In the data transfer instruction is nothing but, as a name specified, it is used to transfer the data to and fro data. If I want to transfer, then I will be using this data transfer instructions. Okay, whereas your address mode, that is nothing but your data manipulation instruction is nothing but which manipulates the data value, then we will be going to use this data manipulation instructions. Yeah, basically data manipulation instructions, you do have 3 different types of data manipulation instructions: arithmetic instructions, logical instructions, bit manipulation instructions, and shift instructions. Okay, arithmetic instructions are nothing but it is used to perform the arithmetic operations. Logical and bit manipulation instructions are nothing but it is used to perform the logical operations like AND operation, OR operation, NOT operation, okay, XOR operation. Shift instructions are nothing but it is used to shift the values towards the right and left. Okay, and rotate instructions will be coming in this only. Rotate left with carry, rotate left without carry, rotate right with carry, rotate right without carry. Those are nothing but your data manipulation instructions. Okay, next one is what program control instructions. We do have in this program controller control instructions based upon the conditional and unconditional branch instructions are there. Okay, conditional and unconditional branch and jump instructions. When I go with the conditions, we will be going to have 4 different conditions. We will be going to check. Okay, carry flag bit, sign flag bit, zero flag bit, and overflow flag bit. Okay, that we are going to check it to go with the status registers. Okay, call and return instructions are nothing but your unconditional branch instructions. Program interrupts is nothing but your when I am going with my types of interrupts, we do have 3 different types of interrupts. One is external interrupts, internal interrupt, software interrupts. Okay, external interrupts are nothing but your interrupts which are where the interrupt occurs due to your input and output devices. If it is interrupting your processor, then it is known as an external interrupts. Internal interrupts are nothing but your interrupts which have been generated by using your internal things, when unexpected errors, like when I am going with my division operation, if I am going to divide it by 0, then it is known as an there is an error occurs, then that is known as an internal interrupts. There is a chances of your stack overflow. Okay, something you are given the operation code which doesn't matches, that is nothing but your invalid operation code. Okay, the next one will be your protection violation. Some protection violation will be there, so that will be coming into the internal interrupts. Software interrupts are nothing but it will be initiated by using an instructions called as an int and RST. Okay, int is nothing but your interrupt, software interrupts. I am going to write my software interrupt code. Okay, and I am going to call my own interrupt over there. Okay, and that is nothing but your software interrupts. Okay, if you are going to see here, this is nothing but your flow chart for your interrupt cycle. For as soon as the interrupt is detected, it will be going to detect what type of interrupt it is, internal or external or software interrupt, and it will determine the address of your ISR interrupt service routine, stores the information of the present program counter values, CPU register values, status values. Then it will be going to move to the main body of your interrupt service subroutine program. Then again, after execution of that one program, it will go to the stack memory and it restores the information into these registers, and then it will return to your main program. This is nothing but a simple program execution of your the interrupts. Okay, next one is nothing but your reduce instruction set computer organization. When I am going with my computer architecture, generally based upon my instruction format, we do have 2 different types of computer architectures. One is nothing but your RISC and the second one is nothing but your CISC. RISC is nothing but your reduced instruction set computer and CISC is nothing but your complex instruction set computer. So in RISC you will be going to have very few instructions, whereas in CISC you will be going to have many instructions. Okay, and here you are going to have in CISC you are going to have variable length instruction format. In RISC you will be going to have fixed length instruction formats. Okay, so the time taken by a particular program to execute a single instruction will be more in the CISC, where compared to your RISC you will be going to have very small amount of time taken to execute. Okay, why? Because it is complex, instructions are not complex, and as the instructions are complex, you will be going to have very different types of addressing modes in the CISC, whereas in the RISC very few addressing modes you are going to have. Okay, these are nothing but a few of the differences and features of your RISC and CISC. Okay, this finishes an overview of your RISC and part that is nothing but your central processing unit of your unit term. Okay, in the next video we will be going to see the pipelining and vector processing. Thank you. Okay, I'll be going to share this particular PPT as well as my selected unit wise questions. I'll send even that also for you people. Okay, thank you. Have a nice day.